Yeah, how are we gonna use the Tic Tac? But
Well, you use it right before you start recording audio, so that your breath is nice and minty.
yes, for the audience,
Yes.
it's all for you.
You get a Tic Tac, and you try to hand it to like a little squirrel or a chipmunk to do Foley work.
We're just setting up the worst kind of video game that anyone could build.
Basically, what we're trying to make is Dead Space, but with clowns.
Yeah.
We're making Clown Space. So now, it's a murder mystery to figure out who killed Humpty Dumpty.
You have to investigate all of the king's horses and all the king's men.
That couldn't put him back together again.
Because someone doesn't want Humpty being put back together again.
Because Humpty is a snitch. Humpty is a snitch? Ooh, do you feel the chill in the air yet again, Alex?
No, I'm inside and I've had my pellet stove on.
You just make everything so boring, you know that? It's just like I come in here trying to put chills and make people so excited and, then it's like,
Oh, sorry.
no.
Ah, yes, I feel the chill in the air, the nice cool autumn breeze, while the wind rustles some leaves.
Oh, perfect. And then you rake those leaves up, put them in a nice neat pile, and look at them for a while. See, I can ruin the atmosphere too.
No, I hide the bodies underneath the leaves. So when you jump in the pile, you land in the body and you get scared.
That's right. And then they jump up at you, and they're zombies. Call back to the zombies. Leaf zombies. That's a great
Leaf
trap.
zombies.
Leaf zombies.
It's a leaf
creepers.
pile mimic.
No, instead of leaf creepers, it's leaf creepers. Okay.
And it's just people from Florida. Got it.
Anyway, to all the leaf creepers out there, welcome to Total Pebble Knockdown. I am Nathan.
And I am Alex, and I am feeling the chill, apparently.
The chill, the thrill of the chill. And we have a wonderful episode for you today. First up on the show, actually, is a Weekly Muse that is very much about us. This is episode 52, which means that this officially is the end of season 1 of Total Pebble Knockdown. How about that?
Most TV shows don't have 52 episodes in a season.
No, they don't. They usually only do about 20. We are working too hard.
Yep. And animes have about 12.
Yeah. Well, unless it's like Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know if you remember like Yu-Gi-Oh! Where it like 1 year it had like 12 episodes and then the next year it had like 155 or something.
Yeah.
It's organized.
I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
Anime's
Pokemon's
weird.
kind of like that too. I don't know.
Anyways.
Well, anyway, we're not anime, but we are also not like a prestige television show, so we're somewhere.
But also,
yes.
If you'd like us to be anime, let us know. We'll
True.
figure something out.
We'll figure that out.
We can get someone to animate that.
Oh my god.
Not animate it, draw that, sorry. We're not doing animation, that's not happening.
If we get a big enough budget, I'm gonna go to like one of the animators that Ninja Sex Party uses for those animated videos, and we'll do a segment to do music videos.
A friend of mine from high school is married to someone, and he's a voice actor, and she does animation, and I think they have a studio that he runs, and they did the opening video for Sonic Mania, I believe. The animation.
Wow. Very neat. Yeah.
So, I could be like, hey, I don't think we have the money for that, but if we had the budget,
We don't have the money for that, no. We're not one of those critical roles that can get a Kickstarter off the ground. Our Kickstarter would get us like $15 and a Tic Tac, and I'll tell you, we'd have to figure out how to make that work.
Yeah, how are we gonna use the Tic Tac? But
well, you use it right before you start recording audio, so that your breath is nice and minty.
yes, for the audience.
Yes.
It's all for you.
You get a Tic Tac, and you try to hand it to like a little squirrel or a chipmunk to do Foley work. Anyway, so it's been a year. It's actually been
a year.
it's actually been a little bit more than a year because we had a few weeks that we were off, but it's been a year of content, essentially. And from our early beginnings when we launched the show and we're talking about being competent, which I think we've proven over these 52 episodes we are not, and talking about Roblox, which we hopefully will never have to do again, and I think that we've made some strides forward. I don't know if we've really learned anything, though.
Maybe. I think you've gotten better at video editing, and our brand director has gotten better at thumbnail making.
Yeah.
I've just done nothing for the last year. I've moved. I got a new background.
You have changed your background and your setup, so there is that. Good job. Yeah.
Yep. I don't think we've really gained much in the way of the podcast listeners, but that's a hard metric to gauge anyways.
It is. I think what I was very surprised by is that the video part of it has occasionally had some spikes. It seems like we do get a little bit more attention to that, which is why I've been trying to take a little bit more time with the videos, just to try and cut them down a little bit, make them a little bit better for presentation, and add some elements in, which is, granted, time in, but is also important because we like having that kind of engagement, and I've been surprised by a few of them that did very, very well, and what people surprisingly liked to talk about.
I think the fun thing is it's mostly been in the tabletop realm.
Yes.
Which is fine, because we love tabletop, but...
That's true. A few of them were about video games, but yeah, most of them were about the tabletop stuff, which is, where our origins lie anyway. I think, the first one that was really big was, the Mandela Effect video that we did, which definitely brought out a few conspiracists.
Yeah, that's fun if you read the comments.
Yeah, read the comments, but try not to take them too seriously. Take it with a grain of salt. The False Hydra one, people very much liked, because we got to talk about not only the False Hydra, which Dungeon Dads did a big thing on, but we also got to talk about metagaming, and I think that's one of the big things people wanted to discuss. And then, surprisingly enough, the one that really surprised me was the just overwhelmingly, if you look at metrics from, our normal video views...
Oh, I'm looking at metrics.
Yeah, if you look at our normal views and what this one did, I don't know why the crit thing that we did about how did the party come together got so many views. I don't...
Yeah, it's sitting at 1.7k right now.
Yeah, which...
a little over 1.7.
Which I will mention, we did not do any kind of promotion or anything for, we just threw it out there. I kind of thought it was just a regular topic. I didn't think anything would come of that one, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But we got a lot of response, and all thumbs up. Everyone who gave me thumbs up were thumbs up, no thumbs down.
Yeah. That is our most popular, 1.7k. The Mandela Effect one with 936, which is our April Fool's episode too, which is just kind of silly, talking about ridiculous things. Yeah. Most people in the comments were like, "Oh, it's real," and we're like, "Oh, you don't understand sarcasm, my guys." But it's fine.
I did love the person who was trying to convince us that, what about the Fruit of the Loom logo? The cornucopia? And it's I'm not gonna get into it with you, but just go to the literal website for Fruit of the Loom. They show you through time their logos from the 1800s to now, and there's no cornucopia in any of them. None. You take it up with them and see.
Yeah. And then the other one, the False Hydra, is at 530. That one was fun. And then after that, it's down to 193 with Why You Should Never Say Missed.
Yeah. Which I guess those are ones that most people just don't talk about, Those are just kind of oddities. So that's been very good, and we've those are the kind of numbers that we are not used to seeing in terms
Yeah,
of
those are big
engagement.
numbers to us.
To us,
Our
those
typical is around 13 or so for the videos, and we're like, 13's better than we expect.
Yeah. Originally, we were looking at like 0 people. So there's that.
Yeah, we're doing this because we enjoy it, not because we get views.
Right. And you know that we're getting more engagement on there because people that will join us, we've started to even have some people join us into the Discord, found us through the videos, and we're like, wait, you have a podcast? And it's like, well, yeah, that's actually kind of the reason why we even did this in the first place.
Yeah.
The podcast.
We have an old podcast, too. If you're listening to this and you haven't heard us mention Dell before.
Oh, yeah. We should.
We don't do it anymore, but if you like game mechanics and interviews with game designers, check out Dell Podcast.
Yeah, we did quite a few episodes. Almost 300. Well, we called the last one 300 because we probably with live episodes did those. Yeah. So from that experience onward, I wouldn't say that the podcast numbers have exactly jumped, but the way that we've been framing the video presentations on YouTube has definitely gotten more attention. So I think that overall, I was kind of surprised by the reception that we've gotten overall. Like having a merch store is really cool. Some of the designs that are coming out, hint, hint, wink, wink, you might want to go look at some of those.
Look on screen now.
Look on screen now. Look at the merch.
Except for you podcast listeners, you have to go to the video now.
Now you have to go to the video. Yeah, you have to listen to this twice. I'm so very sorry. The live episodes too, since we're at it, that was a tradition we started back when we were doing Delve, of doing a monthly live. But I do like being able to do that with like the video presentation of doing video games and kind of playing that almost with people. Especially for the first time, people get to watch me as I try to get over my fear of sharks.
That was great, though. Manhunt was great.
Yeah.
Or Maneater, I'm sorry.
Yeah. On a side note, since we're on the topic of it, I should say that I almost have beaten Maneater.
Oh, good.
I've almost done it. I got to like the last boss, and he has that like this ridiculous boat. I got to like Pete at the end of it, and he's got this ridiculous boat, and I've tried it a few times, and I keep dying, and I'm like, do I really care? Like, I've dealt with everything else. It gets to the point in the later areas when you're in like the open ocean or the Gulf, where you have to fight sperm whales. And orcas, you fight orcas and stuff, and it's like, and I took care of that. Like there's literally like the apex predator for the sperm whale made me think of like Moby Dick. Like when I got to it, I got through like a bunch of that stuff. I became the mega and everything. That's terrific. I got like my whole bone armor on and everything. It's like, that's great. But then they throw this boat at you at the end, and it's like, did they just not want you to complete the game? I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, got to do that. I think people mostly enjoyed it when I had to struggle through things like Super Benbo Quest.
Yes.
Yeah, that's always good. Making my life a living hell seems to be the kind of thing that we like to do. And hey, we had a whole lot of fun breaking Farm Simulator.
Yeah.
That's great. We got to go right up to the sky.
Flying horses.
Flying horses, just like Farming Simulator intended. Perfect. So we have a lot of fun doing those too, because it also allows people that are in the community in our Discord to come in and chat with us while we're doing that. I think the lesson that we learned too is not to do anything that's too intense in terms of reading or story-driven games, because it does make it harder to actually talk in the meantime. So I try to be
You get invested.
Yeah, and so I try to do ones that are not quite as personally investing when I do those games. I do try to think about that when we have those live episodes. But we'll continue to do those the first Saturday of the month. That's always good if you drop by or you happen to see us. We're doing those on YouTube now. We're not doing them on Twitch. So you can always check that out. We've done some new projects. Creatures has had its first entry with the Winter Wolf. So
Second one will be out at some point. She's working on it. She's also had a lot of other things going on. Plus, we just moved, so
yeah, we don't really have a hard and firm date on when those release. Those are definitely more of our I said it a minute ago, the prestige. They're like the prestige series of our our site. And I'm still doing Titanium Mine. We're just doing that on like a bi-weekly basis. And what I wanted to do with that is, instead of just like trying to go through some description of every single game that I played, was to be a little bit more choosy in what I was talking about and to get a little bit more in depth with certain subjects. So I think that seems to be going well, because I actually get comments back on it now where,
good.
Beforehand, it was just like, meh. I didn't know if anybody watched it. I could tell by like the numbers on Anchor that there were some people that watched it, but I didn't know if anybody actually bothered to intake what was going on.
Okay,
now
nice.
a few people actually say something, so that's
Nice.
Nice. So yeah, overall, did we actually learn anything from
Who knows?
this year?
Yeah, definitely. I think we've learned about doing this a bit more.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Overall, like how we set up the show, what we want to do with it, the stuff we like talking about, the stuff that gets people talking to us a bit.
Yeah. I think too that I realized more from this last year that we probably made the right decision by starting a new show from the ground up, because I think that the format of what we do now just makes more comprehensive sense to people, of being
Probably
doing smaller segments and doing a little bit more focused segments that people can parse out and listen to individually or in one whole.
yeah, instead of just having a rambling hour-long show.
Yeah, where we kind of were talking about a subject, but then we kind of ended up talking about everything else in the meantime. There's more structure to the show now, and being able to also expand what we're talking about in terms of gaming, where it's not just specifically about the design of tabletop gaming, but really about games in general and topics that we find interesting because we play them so much. So that's good. Yeah, I think overall we probably did a good thing doing the show, and now we can stop. No, we're not.
Done. Bye.
We're done.
And hopefully, I'm hoping. I know I talked to you earlier. I'm hoping we can get having people on the show a bit more often. I know we had our friend Chris Bissett on earlier in our series.
Yes.
And that was great for us. We enjoyed it. He enjoyed it. We hope we could get more people looking at those and get more people on.
Yeah, I think we had been a little reticent to like have a lot of people on, just because we were trying to figure out what the show even was, and we didn't know what the format was going to be for guests. But, you know, back when we did that like 5-year-long project known as Delve, a good portion, probably about half the episodes altogether, were with people where we did interviews. And so we really should do more of those. I think if we're going to do like a 52 episode, run, probably at maybe 10, somewhere between 10 and 20 of those shows should probably be with guests.
I think like once a month having a guest on would be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's less that. I think it was more so we didn't necessarily want to get bogged down doing like interviews formally, but having somebody on to talk to, like we did with Chris, to talk about a couple different topics and like have a chat with them, even if it's not a standard like interview. I think that's more interesting.
Right. And the other problem that I think we've talked about at one point is we got into such a habit of doing a ton of interviews that a lot of them were just about talking about the latest Kickstarter, and that was then all we ever really did. And so by then having somebody come on and do a few different segments, we can talk about the latest projects, but then we can also have some conversations that are not specifically about that. And so we can focus in on like a handful of people coming on the show so that we can talk more broadly about stuff and not get too bogged down in being essentially a video advertising thing.
Right. Which, again, we don't mind talking about what someone has got coming up. We did with Chris, and we've done it before with Chris before and other people, but like we don't want to have that be like the whole thing the show's about. Obviously, there is advertising revenue people do for a reason. They place ads, they do things, and it's like if it's a sponsored thing, sure, we would love to do it all the time. Give us money and we'll totally shill the credit. No, we won't.
Raid Shadow Legends.
We would rather have a chat and talk about the thing and be interested in the topic than just go, oh yeah, you have a Kickstarter, cool, what is it? Tell us about it. And pitch it to everyone listening to the show.
Right. And by, like you were saying, we don't really mind promoting things when people come on the show, because like I understand they come on the show for reasons that they're hoping to talk about a project, but also it's kind of like a one for you, one for us. Like we'll get to talk about a subject that's a little like off kilter and something, but then we'll also talk about your project to get more in depth on it. Because it's not like we have a huge platform where like we're gonna bring in tons of people to your Kickstarter, but it is still a format that can be very useful where we'll talk more in depth about a thing in a way that a lot of interviewers probably wouldn't, or in a way that a lot of people probably wouldn't. So I have kind of gotten out of shape in my interviewing skills the last year or so I do have to get back into that, get my reporter hat back on. And
the fun thing is now you can wear the reporter hat.
I can, and people would see the reporter hat, so that's even more fun. So, So I guess I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who's been with us for this year. It has been quite a trip, and for like Alex and Crave, it's been a literal trip. To a whole new area. We've gotten some new gear, we've gotten some new setups, we've gotten better at our formatting, and we'll see what the next year has to bring. Maybe Skittles.
Hopefully Skittles. Yeah. Hopefully for me, I'll actually be upgrading some gear again, because as we went over pre-show, the laptop I'm now using, not the greatest.
Yeah, the Discord alone is really sucking your server dry.
Yeah, the CPU is not that great, and my computer that I was recording on is downstairs in the living room, and this is my recording studio, so that does not make, this is my area,
right? And
that is a common area.
Right, exactly.
So,
and, I will say, though, just so you know, I do like you having, like, a separate space so that it's, like, a little cozier, a little smaller, and that you can kind of, like, frame and everything. It also feels like you don't get quite as much reverb just because the area is a little smaller, so I think it works.
Yeah, I haven't even put any of the bass traps or any of the acoustic panels up yet, which I need to do. There's a lot in the house that's been going on, so, it's unpacking still needs to be done mostly by me.
Sure.
Night shift means I don't want to do things during the day.
Right. Right. You're allergic to sunlight.
Yep. Like this color looks nice in here. This color we painted in the closet and over here.
Right.
And then I don't know if you can see it in the video, but like this color up here.
Sure. Yeah.
That color. That's the color the rest of the room was like behind me, and I thought it was too dark.
Got it.
So,
okay.
Like if you look, it's all this
okay.
color now.
Oh, okay.
And then it was that color before.
Yeah. It was that darker color. Got it. Okay.
Now let's hope this is in the right spot again.
Yeah,
I think it'd be good.
Yeah, I think you're good. So yes, thank you so much for sticking with us for this year. We're hoping that you'll all stick with us for the next year and see what happens. When we started, I was a little bit nervous about growth because I did want things to grow and to actually get an audience. I'm a little less worried about it now just because we've had some stuff that really took off, and it seems like more of it takes off now than it used to, and that's pretty encouraging. So I'm encouraged. I hope you're encouraged, Alex, that we're
Yes.
about our
I'm also gonna sneeze.
Okay. See, if he sneezed on thing, that might have been ASMR. I don't know.
That would have blown out the microphone.
Perfect. Some people like that. Anyway, all right. Okay, so moving right along.
Well, I was gonna put on at the end of that really quick. If anyone has any feedback for us that has stuck with us, or even watched a couple of the shows, for things you would like to see, think we're doing wrong, think we're doing great, please feel free to get at us either via email, totalpebblenokdown@gmail.com, through the Discord, leave us a voice message on Anchor, or comment on this video and a thumbs down if you hate it.
Yeah, please just go ahead and do that. Well, I can't wait to see how that ratio goes. And make sure to check us out on all of the old haunts, and there's links down below. So we are finishing up our little mini-series, a spoopy or not spoopy.
I think we should do another mini-series at some point. Again, this has been fun,
yes.
But I'm not sure which one. Maybe Valentine's Day.
Ooh,
that'd be fun.
Yeah, we'll do oh yeah, we'll do a smash or pass with different monsters and see if that works.
Just different loved themed quests you can do.
I mean, that's similar to what I said, but
the monster that steals your heart.
Yeah, monster that steals your heart. That's perfect.
But
they eat your heart. That's what you have to be.
Oh, good. Eat your heart out.
That's right. Exactly. Loving werewolves. Anyway, so we did skeletons and we did zombies and we did ghosts, which are pretty classic fare when it comes to, the creepy crawlies in gaming. But I thought that we would end with the scariest of monsters, Alex, the clown.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm sorry to do this to everybody, but it's time to talk about clowns.
I hope you just jump scared everyone that's watching this video with a clown on screen.
Totally did. It was probably Pennywise. And yes, I am totally talking about the...
Dad Pennywise.
I'm totally talking about the Killer Clowns from Outer Space type of clown. As well as many others. Never saw that movie, did you?
No.
Okay. So... The thing about it is that I don't know how many times people actually encounter clowns when they're getting into games. Maybe like mascots, like the Five Nights at Freddy kind of mascots, but I don't really know if they've really tapped into the clown market specifically. Except for, like, Dead by Daylight maybe had a clown.
I was gonna say,
yeah.
That probably... Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, I asked my resident Dead by Daylight player, and yes, there is a clown. Apparently is the worst killer ever. They're just really annoying.
Okay, that's terrific. Every time you see, like, the red nose or you hear the honking horn, you know that there's going to be danger. Now, the thing about it is that, like, I don't actually remember many clowns in video games, but I do know that it does pop up occasionally when it comes to tabletop. And surprisingly...
Does it?
Yeah, it does. Actually, I'll tell you this... Since we've been trying to kind of, like, use Dungeons & Dragons as a jumping-off place for this, let me tell you a little bit about the Clowns of the Multiverse, which...
Oh, no.
Just this year, actually, when Spelljammer came out, there was D&D revealing creepy origins of clowns in the multiverse. In fact, I'll even just throw it in here. You can look at that. That's always fun. Yeah, they have disturbing origins of clowns. There's a jester-based class from 3E that they kind of were jumping off of. Yeah, there's space clowns.
Was this like someone's homebrew thing they made? Was this someone like DM's Guild they made?
No, this was the official Dungeons & Dragons YouTube channel revealed this. That was going to be in Spelljammer, because this is Spelljammer in space.
Oh no.
So yeah, they're gonna do that. But
I hate that.
I got something even better for you, Alex, because this is
Oh,
not
great.
even new. From the DMs Guild themselves, there is a whole thing about the clown where you can actually play the clown class and 16 subclasses as well. There's a whole complete clown collection where there's the clown, more clowns, even more clowns, and rare clowns. So there's that. 14 magic items, jester's attire. Yeah. So
But I don't feel like these are the creepy kinds of clowns, are they?
Any clown is a creepy clown. Let's just get this out of the way.
These are not like horror movie clowns, are they?
I don't know. Did you take a look at the photos? I mean, the picture makes
they're not creepy. They're too colorful.
They're too colorful?
Too colorful to be creepy.
Oh my god. Okay. If you say so, I don't know.
I do. I don't get scared by clowns really, but I think there is a space where clowns could be scary, and I think it would be interesting to make a bard that is a performer that is a clown.
That would be a big bad evil guy.
That would be a big...
bad...
I don't know what I was going to go with.
Yeah, clown guy. Yeah, big bad evil clown.
Yes, because you can't say big bad clown because the abbreviation doesn't work.
No. That's a whole other thing. There's a news network for big bad clowns. Anyway, so yeah, actually clowns, and if I remember correctly, I think that clown was a class in older versions as well. Like around like maybe version 3 or AD&D, there was clowns that you could play.
But we're talking about clowns spooky or not spooky.
That is true. I mean, they got an advantage right up at the front by being clowns. So
yes. So I think the whole thing, and one of the points I wanted to mention about this is the whole thing with clowns being creepy isn't because they're like inherently like, it's not because they're a clown. It's because of the outfit and the makeup that generally makes them creepy. Like if you see someone not dressed up as a clown doing stuff clowns would typically do,
yes,
it wouldn't be creepy. It would just be like a magician.
Right.
You know, or someone making balloon animals or whatever. Or it'd be a carny, you know, at that point. But I think what makes clowns creepy is when they tap into the uncanny valley.
Oh, okay.
So that's the vagueness, the ambiguity, the mouth and features being expressively larger than they should be.
Yeah.
So
I
think that's where you get into the creepy aspect or the scary aspect.
Right. I think that there's something inherently worrying about something that seems so overly joyful. I think that kind of like goes into the whole uncanny valley thing as well. Is that idea that it's hyperbolically happy and exuberant in a way that seems unnatural.
Yeah.
to normal ways of thinking, ways of acting.
Right.
Apparently there is actually a phobia for clowns, which I believe is called coulrophobia. I looked up a Psychology Today article about why clowns are scary, and so coulrophobia is a thing. The Psychology Today article explains that clowns tend to be scary because of their exaggerated look and evil representation in films. Obviously, the vast majority of individuals are not scared of clowns in a day-to-day context, but a clown's face has become part of the scare culture. I noted that there is a stereotype of the nasty, evil, eerie clown. If you look at clowns, you tend to find that part of their face and feet are exaggerated. Their big, huge noses, scary mouths, long, elongated shoes, and wildfire hair. And then there's also references to like It and the Joker in Batman. So yeah, this is one of those big things where clowns can be terrifying.
I don't think Joker was terrifying because he was a clown. At least like depending on which Joker. I don't think he was like terrifying or scary. I think he was just psychotic.
Right. And psychopaths
Like-
have a tendency to be scary in a whole other way.
Yeah, and so you mix the psychopathy with him being a clown, you know, and it's
Right.
a thing. I like Heath Ledger's Joker. Wow, words.
Yes.
I don't think was scary. He was just kind of insane.
He was insane, or depending on how you want to view him, also just very methodical, but doing it in the weirdest way possible.
I mean, both. But then you get like the Joker from the animated series, which is much more exaggerated with the features and the grin and the smile and everything. And that is a much more, I think, creepy version of the Joker.
Yes.
Still not creepy because it's a cartoon, but like creepier. But yeah, like the exaggerated mouth, the makeup to make your mouth look like ear to ear. You know?
Yeah.
I think if you really wanted to make a clown creepy in that factor, you'd be like someone on stilts with like extended long arms that reach down to like your ankles.
So Slender Man.
Yeah, pretty much Slender Man, but a clown.
You put
Slendy
a wig
clown.
on. You put a wig and a little red nose on Slender Man.
I know what the thumbnail is going to be for this one now.
Oh yeah. Be aware of the Slenderclown. You want to be worried about the Slenderclown. I keep thinking that there's some really interesting scenarios if you wanted to make something really scary here. Like for instance, you could actually have like a carnival at night, which by its very nature is going to be kind of terrifying. So it's an abandoned carnival. All the rides are still lit up, but it's nighttime. There's nobody else around.
Worked by ghosts.
Yes.
Ghost clowns.
Ghost clowns, because you can't even hurt them. That's always fun.
They throw spectral pies at you.
They throw spectral pies at you. That would be so much fun. The pies are also full of bees. So now you have bees as also a problem. But you know what? They do have a distinct honey taste to them. So anyway, no, you have the the nighttime carnival thing going on, and then as your party or your like they get really lost in all the lights and they get split up. And now your party's like on their own in different parts of the, you know, the carnival. And then a clown starts giggling and like steps out from behind one of the rides and just has a knife. Maybe it's a colorful knife, but it's a knife.
Maybe it's a balloon animal knife.
It's a balloon animal knife, but it's still sharp. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's still sharp. And just starts giggling at you as it starts to approach. That's going to be disturbing. And then you back up and you hear more giggling behind you. And you hear the sound of laughter and horns, honking horns in the background.
Then the marching band comes.
Then the marching band comes and you realize you are joining the Black Parade.
Oh dear. It's not a knife though, it's a meat cleaver.
It's a meat cleaver. Oh, yes. That's even scary. Oh, you know what you do? You make the little colorful umbrella that they hold into a spear. Now it's got like a spear end on the top of the umbrella.
There you go. Oh, so we're doing the penguin.
We're doing penguin, yes.
But a clown.
That's right. There's a flamethrower in the umbrella. That's just a pyrotechnics display. That's perfect. We need one of those. Okay.
I have a picture. I need to find it. Hold on. It's from Cowboy Bebop. It's a character that is really creepy, but he's not quite a clown. Mad Perio.
Mad Perio.
Something like that. Pierrot. But I've got it right here. Hold. This guy. He's not a clown, but it's in a carnival.
Oh, yeah. Him.
It's a very creepy episode.
I'm sure.
It's a very good one.
Yeah. I want to say that character was also in the live-action adaptation of Cowboy Bebop.
I didn't watch it, but maybe.
Yeah.
Was he insane?
Yes. And
Did he giggle like a child?
I don't know if he giggled like a child. There was a scene where they were at a carnival, though.
Did he get crushed by an animatronic?
He might have, yeah.
Then yeah, that's that character.
Okay, good. I think
Was he creepy?
Yes. He was.
Yeah.
He
Okay.
was. He was not fun. At some point, maybe I'll have to find a photo of that. But we can compare the two. Who wore it best? Was it the anime one or was it the live action adaptation? I think it's going to be the anime anyway. But
yeah.
So yeah, clowns haunt our nightmares, and I'm just trying to figure out like what the best way is to implement it. Because I think that the carnival thing is just like an easy one that's like a trope. I feel like there are better ways that you could implement the clown aesthetic, maybe not as just a clown itself, but with the same kind of reasons that we find it disturbing that clowns exist.
Yeah.
That idea of exaggerating facial features and body parts can be read as monstrous or deformed as easily as it can be read as comical. And yes, I am going off of Mark Griffith's article from Psychology Today. So
there you go.
So yes, the psychologists seem to understand how this works. So there's that.
Me too. Uncanny Valley.
Uncanny Valley, yes. Be aware, if you see any clowns late at night, that's not normal. You don't want to have that happen. But what other settings could we use that kind of like Uncanny Valley sort of aesthetic that would have maybe clown-like features? Could I do that on a space station? Could I do that instead of like a xenomorph?
Probably. I mean, exaggerated features, definitely. Maybe not the clown aesthetic on the space station. You'd have to have a reason for it to be there.
Yeah. Okay. I'm
maybe,
trying to figure... Okay. Yeah.
Maybe it's a space children's hospital.
Oh, God.
Okay. So it's a space children's hospital that has gone dark and the lights are out and something happened you need to investigate.
So this is just Rob Corddry's character, but in space.
Patch Adams, yeah.
No. From Children's Hospital. Remember? Rob Corddry played that character that was always dressed like a clown while he has like performed surgery and he's got blood all over his shirt.
I didn't watch much of it, but yes, I do know what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. So there's that, but it's space?
But in space, on a derelict, like, space hospital.
Okay.
For children.
Yeah. Because you know what? In space, no one can hear you laugh.
Well, I mean, that's because the airlock has been destroyed. You need to put the air back in there.
Right.
Actually, it's even better, I think, if there's no air, so that it's soundless, but you still hear the giggling.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Well, here's the thing. You know, you're walking through in your spacesuit, you just hear your heavy breathing in the comms, and then you hear giggling, but it's not on your comms, and you're like, there shouldn't be any sound here.
Yeah.
You can't even hear yourself crunching stuff under your feet. There shouldn't be sound here.
Yeah. That's another way you could do that if you want to lean into the no sound is that you see the image of the clown and you see like the like shoulders going up and down and like the look of like laughing, but you can't hear it.
That too, yeah.
Yeah, and then you like turn away for a second and then they're closer.
Or they're gone.
Or they're gone, yeah. And so you know that it's there and you know that he's laughing for a reason, but you can't hear the laughter. You just saw the image. It's
one of the YouTubers, I think we watched him with you, the librarian, mentioned one of his videos recently. It's the spider in the corner effect.
Oh.
That a lot of like games don't do, is you look at a thing and you know it's there and you look away for a minute and it's gone.
Oh. Yeah.
And it's like, oh crap, now I know it's still here, but I don't know where it is anymore. And now I'm going to be, scared, creeped out the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even better is if the space station has, like, power is kind of working sometimes. So you've got the doors that are opening and closing on their own. you know, which is kind of creepy because they're like, why is this just on the fritz? Okay. And doors that random open, but you don't hear them. So the soundless thing is going to be playing into a part here. And then you've got, maybe you've got holographic projectors that would be there. So sometimes you'll see a flickering image.
Okay. Yeah.
And you're like unsure if it's a real thing or if it's holographic. So maybe it's just this holographic image of a child holding someone's hand, and then it flickers into a clown, and then it flickers back to this child holding someone's hand. You know, we're just setting up the worst kind of video game that anyone could build.
Basically, what we're trying to make is Dead Space, but with clowns.
Yeah.
We're making Clown Space, and it's great. This is terrific.
Space.
Let's do that. Yeah, I think that actually that would have been way more terrifying than the necromorphs that we get in that game. Not that the necromorphs weren't suitably bad to deal with, but yeah, there's a lot of ways that you can utilize that same formula. I think that it's just that exaggeration. I noticed too when I was looking through the overview of the clown supplement from the Dungeon Masters Guild, which I think, funnily enough, is from someone called Total Party Killer.
Oh, that's us. Wait, Sue.
It's a different TPK altogether. But one of the subclasses is the mime. And
yes,
the mime is like a whole other kettle of fish. Because mimes, again, that soundless thing ends up being like their whole deal. So if you, and that's why I always thought it was funny that like Mr. Mime talks constantly in Pokemon.
Yeah.
But yeah, mimes, don't touch them. They are clowns, but French. Can't trust them. Yeah.
Haha, French baguette. I think mimes are an interesting thing for like D&D. Because if you want to be a mime, you could specialize in illusion and force magic.
Yes, you could.
So,
yeah. Put up
I think
walls of force that are invisible.
Actual walls of force, yeah. I think what you'd want to do for that is cross-class between Wizard Bard.
Oh, yeah.
So you get the performance bonuses, and you can take Mimery as your performance, for instance.
Oh, yeah.
And then you could do Wizard specializing in illusion.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's what Force Wall and things with Force Magic fall into. You'd have to look into it.
Yeah.
But your School of Magic you could do is the one that specializes in like Force, Wall of Force, invisible stuff, etc. It might be illusion. It might be abjuration.
Yeah.
It might be evocation. I'm not sure.
Right.
But then the bard stuff to be able to like do the performance.
Right. There is also, if you were doing like clowns, you might want to take on something like, oh god, maybe like the rogue archetype of like the arcane trickster. You would be able to like do some spells, but I think the big thing is that backstab damage while you're laughing and giggling is pretty great.
Yeah.
And then you just randomly start shooting off a spell, which I think arcane tricksters do mostly, like that kind of like either illusionary or basically magical like that. Okay, so just in general, what are we thinking about for how many spoops out of 5 for clowns?
Oh, normal clowns, maybe a 2. They're a little creepy just on the base level, but I personally don't find them scary.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have a friend of mine who on Facebook who is a clown and does like haunted houses during the Halloween season, who does creepy clown makeup and whatnot, and it's kind of creepy. If I were in a haunted house, yeah, it might be creepy, but like it's not scary to me.
Right.
Are clowns in a derelict children hospital spaceship though? Terrifying.
Yeah. There's not enough spoops.
Yeah, there's
not enough spoops. You can't. I don't want to be there.
Those clowns will make you spoop your pants.
They certainly will. This is spoop your pants territory. So at any rate, I'm gonna go with, I guess, 1 billion out of 5 spoops for clowns in a haunted children's hospital in space. because I don't even know if I'm going to be able to hear the clowns or not, or if I'm going to see them. I now don't even know what the rules of the game are when I get there. So that's terrible. So, and of course, the thing is, clowns are always so, like, colorful that you would get really creeped out if you couldn't see them, because they're supposed to be very visible.
Yeah, well, the thing in the derelict, space hospital is that the clowns wouldn't be super colorful because it's derelict and the lights aren't necessarily on.
Oh.
But even if they were colorful, you would still have to have like a flashlight or a lantern or something to be able to illuminate them. So they could be drab and run down clowns, which would also be very creepy.
Yes.
I think that would be creepier than the bright, colorful clowns.
Yeah.
Because instead of the bright red hair, you've got, like, disheveled, greasy, oily-looking red hair.
Yeah.
Maybe. And maybe all the clothes are, like, stained.
Yeah.
And their makeup is more so, instead of, like, the white face or the red or the black or whatever, maybe it's, like, they're really creepy, so it's the white makeup, but it's all smeared and, like, running and, like, caked and like brown instead, so it looks like it was once white, but it's worn out really bad.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking to myself, like, if you had almost like the blacklight makeup, where it's like a glowing green kind of color when the lights are off.
You could do that too, though.
Yeah.
You could have some of the clowns be like glow in the dark makeup, so when you're in a dark room, but all you see is just their grin.
Yeah, you're staring down the hallway, and the hallway's completely dark, but it's got those, like, lights that are still, like, halfway off they're, like, swinging in the middle, and they flicker on and off, and so when it's off, you're starting to see, like, that green outline, and when it comes on, you start to see the disheveled, like, figure of the clown, like, just kind of, like, all gnarled up with the head, like, cocked to the side and grinning at you, and then the lights keep going out, and, like...
and then the light falls off the ceiling and shatters.
Oh, yeah, and then when your eyes adjust, you don't even see the black light, sort of. Yeah,
and then the clown's just gone.
Yeah, the clown's just gone, but you hear a distant laughter behind you at that point. Anyway, happy Halloween, everybody! If you have any other ideas about how you can make clowns, actually at this point, less scary, I don't really know if we need to make them more scary. If you have any ideas about that, please leave us a comment down below in the video, or you can check us out on Anchor and leave a voice message for us over there.
Or if you hated everything we just talked about, please, like, in the best way, like, if you found that scary, give us a like, and leave a comment and be like, I hate you, now I'm gonna have nightmares forever. You're welcome.
We have one more thing, and we're gonna do a fun little thought experiment here, Alex. We like to...
Oh, good, another trolley problem.
No, not a trolley problem this time. I don't have trolley problems for you. I have... yeah.
The trolley was the problem all along.
The trolley was the friends we made along the way.
Friends we murdered along the way. Anyways, what is today's fun little thing?
Okay, so I have a fun little thing to play. We're gonna just keep saying it so that we can convince people it is indeed fun. I have an idea called Build a Quest. Okay.
This sounds like a workshop you can find.
Yes, and in it we will be making a quest that looks like a bear.
Perfect.
Yeah. So, Build a Quest, the way we're going to do this is I have a random phrase generator up on my screen that can put any number of random phrases up that are just common phrases that we use all the time. Okay. And I'm going to have it generate 3. What we're going to do with those 3 completely random generated phrases is we're going to use them as the titles of quests that we're going to build.
Okay.
And we're going to do it for something thematic. So for this one, this works perfectly for what we were just talking about. I was going to do science fiction as our setting for this. And maybe it's a derelict children's hospital in space. I don't know. But
probably.
But it's something science fiction-y, spacey. It's some kind of like space opera, I think, kind of thing. And we're gonna just see what we want to do for the quests based on these 3 random phrases. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we got this.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna generate 3 phrases. Okay, this is gonna be great. This is gonna be great. Okay, so our first quest title is Head Over Heels, which technically means falling deeply in love with another person. But we can have fun with that. Okay, Head Over Heels. That's our quest name for our space adventure. Okay, my initial thought is to take that very, very literally. That there is literally something happening that is causing people's heads to be over their heels.
Yes, they're broken in half.
Yes, they are broken in half. So you've gone to a laboratory that is having a problem with heads and heels being reversed. They went through a teleporter, and people did not come out right on the other side. And you have to figure out what's going on.
Sure, you need to recalibrate the teleporter.
The question, though, then becomes, why would it, was this sabotage? Did somebody sabotage the teleporter? Is this a Jeff Goldblum in The Fly situation? Where, things just got discombobulated because of the folly of man, or something to that effect.
Is it an angry AI?
Is it an angry AI that's trying to recombine body parts together? Maybe it's a psychotic clown. Who knows? This could be very interesting. So, okay, let's go off of that for a minute. So, we've got teleporters that are recombining people in weird ways, and we got to figure out a way to change that. How does the party learn about that quest?
Teleporting.
They teleport in, and one of the members is
a red shirt.
Is a red shirt, yeah. You choose your NPC, and your NPC. Okay, so if that happens, though, then that means only one of the teleporter pads in this scenario is malfunctioning and doing that, because everybody else is fine.
And once they teleport in, they see a little thing on the other side, which is like a sticky note that says this teleporter out of service.
Yeah. Oops.
They didn't put it on the other side. They just put it on the one side.
Got it. So this is probably, if that's the case, then we're looking at almost a derelict space station. Maybe they were teleporting in to find out what went wrong. Ooh. And that might mean that there are, discombobulated people roaming the hallways of this now abandoned facility.
It's the clowns. With their heads on upside down.
Why are we making this even scarier than we did in the previous segment? Let's not do that. No, they'd be like the necromorphs, actually. They'd be, out of place. We're now doing Dead Space again. Oh, no. What are we going to do? Okay, so... they come in, the red shirt's all discombobulated, and why is my head on my heel now? What am I supposed to do? It's almost like that's the name of the quest.
Yeah, I don't know, this one sounds kind of meh.
This sounds kind of meh? You could eventually recalibrate that, or there's an evil scientist. I feel like an evil scientist happens.
Evil scientist.
Yeah. And then when the evil scientist tries to explain to you what he was thinking, it's well, once upon a time, I had fallen deeply in love with another person, and I wanted people to know how that felt by the phrase head over heels. All right. Let's try another one. Here we go. Okay. Your second one is tough it out, which means to remain resilient even in hard times or enduring. Okay. Tough it out.
Tough it out. What comes to mind is enduring a siege.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. Or an endurance test, or some kind of space coliseum, Klingon Batleth death, battle to the last sort of competition. But yeah, okay, we'll go with yours though. So we're under siege.
From clowns.
I'm seeing a theme here. We're under a siege from clowns. We're under a siege from bugs. I want to say bugs. They're like those giant, like Chitauri sort of bugs. And they're storming into like this last outpost, which I'm going to say is literally called Fort Tough, which is the reason why it's named that, which is why the quest is named that. So, Fort Tough, and the people there are like really worried about the bugs coming, and they can like almost drill underground. Oh no, they're ankegs, but in space. How'd I get back here? They're under the city. What are we going to do? And so your party is tasked with defending against the massive horde that's coming in. What is the resolution to that quest?
You toughed it out.
You had to, you had
These are not very compelling quest names.
You know what though? That's okay, because that's why I chose 3, because I knew that one of these would have to be good. Okay. So the third one, we can get into this one. I got ideas. It's not all it's cracked up to be. Failing to meet expectations, not being as good as people say. Immediately, I'm thinking giant chicken.
I was thinking Humpty Dumpty.
Oh god, that's even better. Okay, yeah, so my thought was giant flaming chicken, but okay, let's... Flamin' hot wings is what I should have called it. But anyway...
Okay, hold on. No. What you need to do...
Yes.
For It's Not All It's Cracked Up to Be, you need to go procure eggs from a phoenix.
Oh, okay, yep. And you have to birth a new phoenix into the world. So there is that possibility. That would be a good quest. But let's explore the Humpty Dumpty thing for a second there, because now I like this idea. You end up in a simulation where you are in a like storybook fantasy world. It's similar to like that quest in Witcher 3 where you end up like in the storybook like world or something like that, where you have to deal with like Little Red Riding Hood and the little pigs and everything. But it's Humpty Dumpty. Humpty Dumpty has fallen down, broken his crown, or whatever, however.
Just his crown? He's shattered.
He's shattered. But now there's evidence that he didn't fall, he was pushed. So now it's a murder mystery to figure out who killed Humpty Dumpty.
You have to investigate all of the king's horses and all the king's men.
That couldn't put him back together again.
Because someone doesn't want Humpty being put back together again. Because
Humpty is a snitch. Humpty is a snitch, and we knew it from the moment he saw who did it. And somebody was trying to keep Humpty quiet. That's what happened. So, okay, this has some legs on it. All right. So Humpty is dead, and he is not being able to put back together, and he was probably pushed down. Okay, cool. I like this. Who was the culprit?
Little Jack Horner?
I knew that little bastard was responsible. I knew it! I never trusted Little Jack Horner. I didn't trust anybody named Jack Horner. Even the, no, actually, I trusted, Dr. Jack Horner. But, he was a paleontologist. Anyway. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong Horner. Anyway, the point is, Little Jack Horner, and then you have to go on a quest to try and track him down. You have to bring him to justice. It becomes like a whole court case. It's a Law and Order episode, but with Humpty Dumpty and Little Jack Horner. That's great. And then it was all in a simulation, and somebody was trying to use these characters to piece together the death of their own, like, sister or something like that, who had gotten pushed off of a wall, and who nobody wanted to investigate because it was a cover-up. So there's...
Of course it's a cover-up.
It's always a cover-up. It's gotta be conspiracy. Okay, cool. So, hey, we tried 3, and one of them sounds really compelling. And you know what? They can't all be winners. But that's why we did... That's the thing about random generated quests. but I still feel like there's gotta be something better for Tough It Out that we're just not seeing. Oh my god, you know what would be fun? Is if we were taking that whole nursery rhyme thing, we make Tough It Out, and we refer to a Tuffet and little Miss Muffet sitting and eating her curds and whey. And Head Over Heels actually could have been about Humpty Dumpty too, now that I'm thinking about it.
Probably about the witch that you crushed in not Alice in Wonderland.
Oh my god, you know what I'm realizing?
Wizard of Oz.
These could have all been fairy tale related instead of
They could have
related.
been.
Oh, that's a missed opportunity. It's all a simulation in space where you are trapped in a fairy tale. And that's
Fairy tale.
A space fairy tale, and that's why they've named him this way.
You know, I don't see enough space converted fairy tales from the Brothers Grimm.
Oh, that would be amazing. You could have like the different characters with like cybernetic upgrades and stuff. You
could have to go to Grandma's house, but you have to go through the asteroid belt. It's no longer a wolf, it's a fucking asteroid worm or whatever.
Oh, space worms. Yeah, space worms coast to coast. You could really do something fun with that. I like the idea of taking like the Three Little Pigs, but they're not in the houses as you know them. They're like in space stations, and one of them had made it kind of like loosey-goosey, and
one of them lives in an asteroid.
Yeah, and the big bad wolf is literally just a giant space destroyer, like a ship called the Big Bad Wolf that's trying to destroy all three of them with the giant wind cannon, which is hard in space. Do you think?
Yeah, it is, actually.
Anyway, so this has been our little experiment that we do occasionally. We do some experiments, and this one was interesting enough. About building a quest from simple random phrases. I am going...
It needs some refining.
Yes, it does, in an actual refinery. To close this out, I'm going to generate one more that I'm going to give to everybody else for them to figure out. Isn't that fun? Oh, this is a good one. Why does it give the people that are going to respond a good one? Okay. If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. You can do so much with that one.
Yeah, kitchen related or heat related, fire elemental related, who knows?
Yeah, if you have ideas for what you would do for a quest, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen, please let us know. You can also come and check us out on Discord if you would like to leave some information in the episode discussion forum. So this has been the first year of Total Pebble Knockdown. Wow. That's something.
You've listened to 52 episodes of Total Pebble Knockdown in a row. Good job.
You binged it in an afternoon.
Yes, we're gonna put a live stream up that's just a marathon of all our episodes.
That's right. It's just the constant stream of TPK. You can enjoy it all at once. I feel bad for you. Anyway, Alex, if they might not want to hear the whole thing at once, but maybe dole it out in smaller pieces, where could they go on the internet?
Well, you would go to the YouTube for that, because smaller pieces are the smallest ones you've got. Over on youtube.com/TotalPebleKnockdown. I don't know if that's our URL. It is now.
Yep.
But if you'd like to enjoy our full podcast episodes, you can check out our website over at TotalPebbleKnockdown.com.
Yes, while you're there, you can even check out our Patreon, where we have some additional bonus content, and we have full video releases that are a little less edited, a little longer than the ones that come out, and those go up ahead of any other releases for that matter. You can also check out Titanium Mine, like we were talking about earlier, and Creatures while you're there. Feel free to check us out on social media as well. I'm at Titanium.
I'm at EXP Limited, and their show is over at our show is over at Pebble Knockdown, and our brand director who does all these amazing thumbs and designs our merch is over at Graveyard.
Graveyard, yeah. So make sure to check her out as well. You can also find us on every podcast app known to mankind. If you were on one where they rate and review and subscribe, please do so. That does help us out, especially to get us more visible on the podcast end of things, which we would definitely like. And yeah, so thank you to all of our Patreon folks that are out there that have been sticking with us. Your names are in the end card. And, please give them a like and a thank you as well. At least a nod in your hearts. We always appreciate that. You help keep the digital lights on. Alex, are you ready for Season 2?
I'm Electric Boogaloo-ing ready for Season 2.
That's a word.
It is now.
Electric Boogalooing.
Yep.
Boogaloo.
I'm ready to not rumble.
Because Rumble... Wasn't Rumble an app?
I don't know, but Let's Get Ready to Rumble is trademarked, though.
Yes. Let's not get ready to rumble. I want to say that there's a Rumble app. Oh, yeah. It's like a prize app. Never mind.
Oh, I was thinking it would be some kind of weird dating app, but that's fine.
I mean,
we have our own dating app.
Yeah.
We have our own dating app. Please go check out the Bone Zone. On sale now.
Yeah, we'll eventually get around to making that app, don't worry. Maybe not. The only dating app for skeletons. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Total Pebble Knockdown, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye for now.
Bye!